Capitalist Death Parade! Capitalist Death Parade! Capitalist Death Parade! Welcome to the Capitalist Death Parade with your hosts Joy Marie Mann and Josh Radio Hedge, a podcast where we discuss the dystopian hellscape of capitalism that we call home. Hey everybody, welcome to the Capitalist Death Parade. I am Josh Radio Hedge.
And I am Joy Marie Mann.
And welcome to the situation. And boy, is it a situation this week.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We say that every week, but what in the flaming fuck? You know what? I am so proud we picked the name for the show. Like, this is, I swear, every fucking day, it's like more and more fucking perfect. Okay. Someone listening, please do tally marks of how many times I say fuck, because I always joke about doing this and I'm really interested because I already said it like 8 times in like 2 minutes. So I'm definitely curious. So we have some topics tonight that are just fucking heartbreaking and just infuriating. Of course, we are going to start with Marcellus Williams. I'm sure you all know what happened, but essentially, tonight he was executed despite evidence showing he was innocent. Now, the reason that this is important, well, many reasons, but the people who brought the request for a stay for him were the prosecutors who sent him to prison in the first place. They said they got it wrong. Okay. So they literally were fighting on his behalf to stay. They were like, nope, he doesn't deserve it. He's innocent. This is really, really, really rare, obviously. Now, Marcellus has been in prison for decades, and a woman was unalived. I have to say that so they don't take my show down. A woman was unalived. She was knifed 43 times in her home, and the husband came home and found her. Now, the thing about this is, of course, I'm obsessed with true crime. Everyone fucking knows that. And a lot of people are. So if you read any study in the entire universe, learn anything about criminology, you know firsthand, 43 times is a crime of passion. That is not someone going to rob and it going wrong. That doesn't happen ever. It's not. Criminals think they're so original and shit, but psychologically, they're all the same. They all have the same patterns. So this Marcellus never knew this woman. They, placed him at the scene with zero evidence, zero DNA, zero, just nothing. They had one witness who turned out to be a liar, and all these things. And, then this, they did acknowledge there was DNA on her person and it did not match his. And now, cut to about a year ago, they found new DNA evidence that it was, indeed not him. So we know for a fact it was not him that committed this. And yet tonight, the execution still happened. So one of the other things that was I fucking bawled for like an hour. There is this video, and I shared it on my Twitter, of these people in this huge line with stacks and stacks and stacks of signatures, handing them to the governor of Missouri. That fucking piece of shit. He was actually there. I thought for sure he'd have his like minions take it and like go run away. No, he was there. He fucking took those papers in his own hands. And it turns out there were over 1 million signatures. Do you believe that? Over 1 fucking million signatures. And these people, they all had a stack of papers, and they just walked in one by one, just handing him the piles of papers. He just stood there. He said nothing, not one damn word. And they said things like, oh, you can make this right. It's not too late. Governor, please, this is your legacy, blah, blah, blah. And that fucker just turned around and did it anyway. I couldn't believe he was there in person to take those papers. I absolutely was stunned. That just shows the fucking hubris of that fucking psychopath.
I mean, to me, it's like, he's trying to express, like, this is how much we believe in the rule of law, and I will be here to watch this man die. And it's like, okay, dude, I get you're making your point. But when the prosecutors who put this guy behind bars say, we got it wrong, what are you standing up for? Like, when you stand up for a justice system that got it wrong to make sure that the person that was innocent dies, none of it makes any sense. Like, it defies my personal understanding of how I thought the justice system works. And I've been seeing more and more of this.
System. There is no justice at all. I mean, for those of you who watched my show, last Thursday, I interviewed my dear friend Temujin Kensu. Again, I've interviewed him many times over the past 4.5 years. He is in prison on a life sentence. He was proven innocent. He is in his 38th year of prison, despite being proven innocent. And if you ever watch a single show of mine, please, please, please watch the one from Thursday. I interview him from prison again, so it is raw. He gives a breakdown of his case that you will not fucking believe. You will not believe it. Like, these fuckers literally tried to say he teleported because he was like 600 miles away and had over a dozen witnesses. And they were talking about fucking time travel. I am not fucking kidding you. Like, this case
that's exciting. That's an
bananas.
exciting revelation for me, because I didn't know time travel was real. So
I didn't either, but now that I know you can do it and commit crimes, that's pretty fucking awesome.
Oh, okay, Joy. Now this is going to sound like a wild idea. You, me, and a time traveling road trip through crime adventures. What do you think?
Well, can we go back to the guillotine days?
We can go back to all the days. You get to like experience Jurassic Park the way that it was intended.
Ooh, yes. Yes. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, watch my show with Temujin. I beg you, please. He has so many supporters. Like, I mean, Muhammad Ali's daughter legit goes to Michigan to see him. Like, he has, he even has fucking FBI come out for him and shit. Like, criminologists, innocence projects. I mean, anyone and everything, judges, representatives, anyone. Like, you name someone, they are fighting for this man. Gretchen Whitmer is his governor. She has had his case on her desk for years, since the day she took office. Her staff has told Temujin they believe him. Her father calls Temujin and supports him. She will not budge. And there's a whole lot of reasons why, but it has to go with money and politics. So this man is in his 38th year of being wrongfully imprisoned, and he is sick. He is incredibly sick. And they stopped giving him his chemo. They stopped giving him his prescriptions. They don't even let him take his damn vitamins. And he goes out in the prison yard and eats dandelions so he can get some fucking vitamins.
So I understand from Temujin's story that the reason that they won't let him out, I mean, he's in for life, but the reason they won't let him out, even though there's evidence of his innocence, is because of like weird like politics, because the victim was, connected to, what was it, a governor or a mayor? It was like,
yeah, exactly.
so
Mayor.
politics plays the role of why someone has to, swing for a crime. But I don't understand with Marcellus why, with this new evidence, like why the Supreme Court decides to not step in, why the governor won't step in,
Well,
why
because
this
it's
need
very
to
comparable.
uphold.
It's very comparable because the thing is, this twat waffle is going to be up for re-election. One of the things he runs on is that he has X amount of prosecutions under his belt, and he has, put so-and-so people to death and stuff like that. Like, he literally runs on that
God,
shit.
can you
Also,
imagine?
the commonality on top of that is, for a state to release someone shows they made huge mistakes. They
Yeah.
don't want that PR. That governor, if he would turn around and say, you know what? Yeah, let's give him a stay. Let's give him a
Wouldn't
new
killing
trial.
people be worse PR? I mean, killing innocent people? That sounds way worse.
He doesn't care though. These people are so psychotic that they literally convince themselves that they're guilty. Like,
Yeah.
in his mind, he doesn't think he's fucking innocent. It's fucking insane. But the fact of the matter is, these fuckers will never, ever, ever admit that they are wrong. Ever. It's
Yeah.
not going to happen. It is up to we the people. And it was so disgusting to watch that motherfucker stand there and take those stacks of signatures and not say a single word, with this smug ass look on his face, knowing that in just a few hours he was going to do the same damn thing.
Yeah, it's just, I just don't understand the idea. Like imagine, can you imagine if you were the kind of person that, like you said, he's touting his record of people killed. Like imagine actually being proud of your body count and it being literal. Like I just can't imagine. I'm mind blown by the fact that this is real.
It's I mean, it's so fucking racist. It's always fucking racist. But this is
Yeah,
why we need to abolish the death penalty, not just because
obviously.
there are innocents who end up, suffering under it, but because we shouldn't have it. It should be abolished. It shouldn't
It should be.
exist. And last
No, it
night's
absolutely
show,
should.
Matt and I showed a map of the US, and it was color coded as to states where it's still legal, states where it's illegal, and states where it's legal but there's a moratorium. And it's still legal in quite a number of states. And
Yeah.
I'm in Pennsylvania, and there's a moratorium on it, which I did not know. I thought it was illegal. It's not.
Yeah, and again, it absolutely should be, because, like, if the crime is murder, killing a human being willfully, then how does more murder, more killing, like, solve anything? The punishment itself is antithetical to the society that claims that the life had value. Like, I don't know. That's how I take it.
I agree with that. And then to take it a step further, because I'm fucking salty, I'd rather people who do fucked up shit suffer in prison. I
Yeah,
don't want them to
exactly.
fucking do that. Don't get it over with all quick like that. Like fucking Ghislaine. Oh, you
Yeah,
let
right.
that bitch rot. You let her
Yeah,
fucking rot.
exactly. Exactly, or Harvey Weinstein, like dudes need to rot, man. If you did horrific things, then that's what we made these boxes for, to protect people from y'all. And the idea, though, that again, it's mind blowing to me that they want to kill anyone. A, and B, you have evidence that this guy didn't do it. Like, and it wasn't just like the prosecutors that signed on to this. It was like uh, victims' family members signed on, like
Yeah,
other
the
people involved
freaking
with the case. I
victims'
think,
family members.
I know, like everybody basically signed on to this and said, "Hey, this guy may be innocent, and we need to, like, at least commute a sentence." Like, why
I
would
think
you
that's
not?
what's the most hurtful, is that the victim's family is even saying, look, we heard more than anyone else in this, and we're telling you it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And now they have to deal with that, you know, that I'm sure they feel some sense of guilt, even though they, they shouldn't. It's just, I'm sure they do. I'm sure it's incredibly upsetting to them because not only is he gone, but whoever the motherfucker is running around free. They were never caught. Whoever
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, exactly. That creates like a void of justice, which is even more twisted because then they get to go off and commit more crime, you know?
Oh my
I wanted to read this since we were bringing up Marcellus. His last words before he was executed for a crime he didn't commit, his last words were, "All praises be to Allah in every situation." And that was it.
I know. I saw that and it just makes me so fucking sad because I don't know, like I'm a humanist, which is essentially an atheist. And it makes me so sad when I see people who are just done so fucking dirty and they still just have so much faith.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it's heartbreaking because I'm not going to be like, dude, like, why? But at the same time, it's just like, it's so heartbreaking because it's like, where is your God, dude? Like, where is he? Like, shouldn't he be like stopping this shit? I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just, it's awful.
No, I just, I don't know. I want to live in a country that doesn't believe in this level of like barbarity. I mean, this is barbarity. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. It's like you said before. The bare minimum of this is if there could be an innocent person put to death, then there should be no death penalty. But like you said, it's so much more than that. It's that it is an immorality. It is a stain on our very souls. And I wish that we could be a society that wasn't based in like vengeance. We're so eye for an eye, this society.
And you know what's going to happen? People are not going to give up. We're going to keep trying to prove his innocence, even though it'll be too late to save his life. It
Yeah.
can at least clear his name and get that motherfucker to be held accountable. Unfortunately, not within the right amount of time.
Yeah.
But it's just, this isn't something people are just going to let drop. I mean, these movements have created stays several times. Like Rodney Reed is the first one that comes to mind. But and you know what else is fucking nuts? When they put people on death row, they're on it for like 20 years before it actually happens. It's so bananas. So, like, during that time, why don't you get chances to appeal and shit like that? It's just fucking nuts. It's so
Well,
disgusting.
I mean, and again, like I get that you get like a limited amount of appeals or whatever, but I feel like if you have ridiculously like extenuating circumstances, like say evidence that you didn't do it, you know, I don't know. I'll never understand this weird cold like hand on the on the plunger just being like oh sorry, it just is what it is, the system has to kill this man now. Sorry you found evidence that he's innocent. And it's
I
like,
mean, it wouldn't be happening if he was white. I mean, we all know this.
I mean, yeah, God, I don't know. I just don't know how people are able at these high levels to live with themselves. Other than I do know how. It's that they don't see us as human. They see us as insects, and to people in power like the governor, Marcellus was just an insect, and he was exterminated. And that's what you do, right? That's what you do when you don't see people as human beings.
Yeah. Fuck anyone that votes for that piece of shit.
Yeah,
Seriously. Because
yeah,
you know what's going to happen, right? He's going to be reelected.
yeah, probably,
That
yeah.
shit happens all the fucking time. People can do the most egregious shit. They're running a fucking cop who literally sat on evidence that would have freed a black man when she was DA in California. and sat on that evidence. Okay.
Yeah.
She never let him the fuck out. And thankfully he's out now. But, you know, I saw an interview with him the other day and he was like, I was innocent. They knew I was innocent. You know, she had all the paperwork which proved I was innocent and she didn't let me out. But then the same fucking people are all up in arms about Marcellus. Well, look at who the fuck you're running in your party.
Yeah.
No, thankfully he's still, you know, he's still alive. It's not like Marcellus in that respect, but like, aren't you a bit hypocritical?
Yeah. Oh
Ah,
my
Dio
God.
mío.
Yeah. No, I just very much hope that he can be one of the last people to be sacrificed. I mean, isn't that what it's like? It feels like this ritual sacrifice
It
that
is, yeah.
to make the crops grow. You know, like what is it they say in the military? What makes the grass grow? Blood, blood, blood. Well, I mean, they believe that for the justice system to seem like it has teeth, occasionally somebody's got to get chewed up. And
This is the
I don't know.
third execution Missouri has done this year alone.
What's going on? I mean, I get tough on crime, but then there's just like, I don't know. This feels inhuman to me. This feels wrong.
It definitely is. Definitely. Oh my God. Well, I definitely suggest, like I said, you guys please watch my show from last Thursday and learn about Temujin. Um, they are making sure he dies an innocent man in prison, and we are doing everything we possibly can to get him out. Also, if you can afford a few dollars, I am trying to raise money to go out and see him in Michigan. I have the ability as a journalist to go in person and interview him. Um, and he keeps asking me to go out, and I love him so much. I really do want to. Um, it's literally gonna take me 3 trains, 2 buses, an Uber or cab to get there over 2 days.
Oh wow.
Literally. But I don't fucking care because he's my boy. So I'm gonna fucking do it. But if you guys have a few bucks you can chip in for like my transportation, things like that. I have a buy me a coffee. I have a Patreon, whatever. All my stuff's on Twitter as well. But yes, so next we do have another trial that I definitely want to discuss. You guys know I've been covering East Palestine since the day the train derailment happened over a year and a half ago. I've been there 4 times, um, and I'm very much still you know, in contact with residents pretty much daily. Um, Last night we had a huge break in our case. We had a gentleman, uh, Stephen came out, and he was the scientist that Steve Petty. He was the scientist that Norfolk Southern hired to do the testing on their behalf in the um oh my god, my brain, the
It's all good.
class action, yes, Joy, a class action. It's not that complicated. So he was hired by them for over a year. He's been doing tests. We all know who he is. Nice gentleman. But he's been doing tests alongside my comrade Scott Smith, who you've all seen many times on my show. I've worked with him for about a year. He's an independent scientist, and Stephen and him know each other because they wound up like testing similar sites, blah, 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 blah. And they were getting the same results. But they were smearing Scott Smith because they're like, oh, he's like an independent scientist and whatever, his results don't mean anything. But he was getting like the same results as their scientist. And finally, Petty came out last night on News Nation, and he's like, okay, this is the thing. I'm gonna be a whistleblower. I can't do this anymore. I've seen these people get so fucking sick. So I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna say, look, I know this is the end to my job. I am losing everything. I no longer have employment, but I cannot take this anymore. I'm coming out and I'm saying that Norfolk Southern tried to silence me, and these people are sick. This land and water is contaminated. They're trying to stifle my voice, and I'm not having it. And he came out and he blew the whistle. He joined me, Scott, and two other people. So he is a fucking baddie, and we love him. Tomorrow is a big fucking day. Scott called me earlier today, and he's going to be taking the stand tomorrow in court in East Palestine, to discuss the class action. Tomorrow is the day that the judge is going to say yay or nay on this class action, whether it goes through, whether she wants, she thinks they deserve more, whatever the case may be. Now we're hoping, and that's why they kept this. I did know some of the information, but of course, I can't say stuff until it comes out.
Yeah.
We're hoping that this will basically get her to say no, back to the drawing board, more money, more concessions, blah blah blah. That's what we're hoping. But anyone who's followed, this knows that nothing has happened. That's been any kind of consolation. So Scott's testifying tomorrow. I'll be getting updates from him, and residents as the court hearings go on. But I am glad that this happened and that they waited so close, because now EPA and them are freaking the motherfuck out, and I love it. So I fingers crossed. But I'm just super, super, super proud of Steve and Scott for stepping up, and it's just epic, and I really hope this makes a difference. Every time I talk to the residents, I talk to quite a number of them still, and they, someone's always sick, someone's in the hospital, someone's bleeding out of their ears, someone's, it never ends, ever. It never freaking ends. People are still getting chemical burns from taking a shower, ending up in the hospital with tremors, seizures, weird skin lesions, nodules on the lungs, things like this. But it's safe.
I mean,
They're
it's crazy how not safe it is. I saw a video very recently. I forget who put up the TikTok, but they literally just walked up to one of the creeks that's running through there, chucked a rock in, and then the whole thing turns into a rainbow.
Oh yeah, that was my friend Randy. He lives in East Palestine.
It's insane, the idea that like the water is still this polluted.
Yeah.
And it was telling everybody, oh, everything's great.
And that's why I also recommend people watch my whistleblower interview. It's on my YouTube. It's an 1.5-hour interview I did with Mark Durno, the lead of the EPA in East Palestine, where he didn't exactly know I was recording him, and said some things that he probably shouldn't have said. Yeah. So yeah, me, Scott, and Steve, we're in a club of whistleblowers for East Palestine. So we're proud of that, and hopefully, we can get them justice, at least some semblance of justice. But first and foremost, get them the fuck out and give them health care, period.
Yeah,
that's all they've ever wanted.
I mean, it's like everybody deserves health care regardless. But if we can't even get that at the bare minimum, people who are their homes are turned into Superfund sites through no fault of their own, they definitely get that. And the fact that they have to fight this hard just to get like what they deserve as victims of a insane system that has so much money, just not enough to take care of these people.
That's the thing that, one of the most infuriating thing, because, I would talk to residents even right in the beginning, and they'd say, look, all we want is to be bought out and given health care. We'll leave, okay? That's all we want. But no, over a year and a half later, they are still fucking suffering and still begging for just any help whatsoever. Like, is anyone gonna fucking listen to us? And there's only me and like one or two other people who even cover East Palestine. And it's still it's literally everything wrapped in one. It's healthcare, it's capitalism, it's environmental terrorism, it's corporatism, it's every fucking thing you can think of is in East Palestine. Everything is all, it's all inclusive with everything we're supposed to be fighting for is what is relative to what is going on with these people.
Well, and
And
that's the thing. If you think about it, East Palestine is a microcosm of our nation. Like what's happening there is but a symptom of the illness that the whole nation is infected with. At any point, one of these bomb trains could end up like derailing outside your house, outside my house. I literally have a train track across the street that I can see from my window right now. Like I can't imagine. I can't imagine what these people have gone through, and the fact that they can't get a government to show them some freaking compassion.
yeah, it's insane. And anyone who, doubts that, it's so bad, I can tell you, I've been there 4 times. Okay. Every time I go there, I get violently ill. Like, I mean, I will be there a minute. All of a sudden, I get the shakes. My legs go numb. I can't feel my face. My lips tinkle. I start vomiting. I get lightheaded. You lose your sense of taste for several days. I had a nosebleed. Like, it smells like fucking chlorine and paint thinner. Just the air. Just walking
Oh,
outside, like literally down the fucking street, you're walking and you smell that.
okay,
Over a year and a half later. I'm
I mean,
telling
check
you
it
guys,
out.
it's nuts.
If I were president, if I were president, what I would do is I would use eminent domain, buy the town out, move them into a new place, make sure that their costs are covered for their health care and for their housing because we fucked it up. And as president, you own that. But instead, we have a president that isn't doing anything.
Well, he did go there after over a year
A
and
year later.
didn't
And
meet
what
with
did he do?
any of
What
them.
came from
So,
it? Did he sip a glass of water? I missed it. What?
yeah, it would be funny if he didn't. But yeah, he did.
Oh God, he sipped the water.
He did. He sure did.
Here
And
I was making a joke, just thinking they surely wouldn't do something that looks that bad again.
yeah, they
Wow,
did. And you know what, though?
wow.
Because of that motherfucker, he came there and did nothing. What I did was I hit up Jill Stein and I said, you know what? Biden just came. He didn't do shit. You're all about the environment. You want to come to East Palestine and do a town hall with me? And she said, when? I said, yep, that's right. And Jill came out to East Palestine and I organized a town hall with me, her, and Scott Smith. And we were there for hours meeting with the residents, talking to them and everything. They don't see, this is why people are like, oh, they're yokels, blah, blah, blah. They're just Trump country. Let me tell you something.
Yeah,
It doesn't fucking matter. It
yeah,
doesn't fucking matter. They don't like Trump. They don't like Biden. They don't like Kamala. They don't like anyone. Why the fuck would you like anyone when
yeah.
you're going through that shit? But you know what? They heard of this woman, Jill Stein. Who's that? What's a Green Party? I don't fucking know. But all they know is she showed up. She met with them. She
Yep.
spoke at the town hall. And she, you know, she was the only fucking person who did that. That's it. And then now they know who she is. Will they vote for her? I don't fucking know. But it means a lot to me because
Yeah,
she
and you know
came out.
what? She
I
didn't
asked
show
her
up
and
to
she's
sip the
like, when and
water.
where?
Yeah. She didn't show up just to sip the water. She showed up to be like, listen, I care. I feel your pain. I'm not going to gaslight you.
And let me
Man.
also say that the whole time she was there, she never said vote for me or anything like that. She was there as a comrade. She was
Yep.
there as a doctor. And she was horrified listening to them speak about their symptoms and their ailments and things that are going on. She was absolutely horrified. And I know one of the residents she became very close with, and they talk, and Jill even had her on her YouTube then too. So I mean, it means a lot when someone says, yeah, I'll come to East Palestine and like do a town hall with you. And I was like, okay, yeah. After that, I was like, yep, I'm endorsing her. I mean, nobody else even, like, that was my bare minimums. Like, if you don't fucking stand up for East Palestine, go fuck yourself.
That's
It's that
right.
simple.
Oh man, God, I think about it all the time, Joy. I think about what it would be like to live in a country with a president that's a human being, a real, live, flesh and blood human being.
I just don't think it'll ever happen, at least not in our fucking lifetime.
Oh man, come on, let's have a little hope. Let's hope that
Now, that's not
something
hope, though.
happens.
That's fucking delusion. I'm not doing that shit to myself.
Like
We're
I'm
just gonna be
hoping,
like,
like
no, it'll happen one day. It'll happen one day, I swear. And then, like, it's Trump, Kamala, fucking, or excuse me, Kamala. And god damn it, I'm never gonna be able to switch the way that her name is now supposedly said. I've been saying Kamala for like 10 years. And now all of a sudden it's Kamala.
that's a thought crime. You're going to jail, Joy, to thought jail.
Oh no, well she can, you know what? She can make lots of money off of me in jail, and then I'll go be a firefighter on her, you know, and she'll make money off of that and then keep me locked up even longer because I'm a good firefighter, because that's what she's done to people in the past.
I was gonna say she's already making money off of you. She stole your namesake.
Oh God, don't remind me. Joy! Joy! Let there be joy! The joy. The radical joy.
Oh, hey,
Stop.
speaking of Oprah, did you hear that she bought the rights to a documentary that was critical of her because she's a super duper billionaire and they get to do that
What was the documentary about? About her
about her?
exclusively?
It was a documentary about Oprah and it was not a positive one. And Oprah just used her money and bought it and basically got them to agree to sell the rights and basically do an NDA kind of thing so that they can't release it.
What the fuck?
I know. That's what money is. That's why money's awesome. Everybody wants to talk trash on capitalism because it's the capitalist death parade. But who doesn't want to be a billionaire? You could literally
Dude,
buy
they are
the
so
negative press
stupid.
pieces and then you just get to walk away and nothing ever happens. That's amazing.
Dude,
Amazing.
they're fucking sellouts, man. Like they probably had some good shit. And you know what? I know some of the shit that was in it. You know there was some Puff Daddy stuff. You know there was some Weinstein stuff because she was all
Oh, for
buddy
sure.
buddy with him. You know there
Oh,
was
for
some
sure.
Epstein shit. Like
Well,
I
we
bet
know.
she knows everybody.
I mean, we know from just the trial of Weinstein that a few of the victims were introduced to Weinstein by Oprah.
Yep.
So yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah,
doesn't
she
look good.
definitely knows some shit.
Yeah.
Ew.
So yeah, that's just wild money. I was telling my buddy earlier that she's not the only one. Like back in the day, this was years back, but the Koch brothers put $1 million into PBS, and they did it specifically to buy the silence of PBS, because PBS was just about to air a documentary about the Koch brothers that was not in a positive light. So they bought it for basically $1 million, and PBS pulled it. I mean, that's corruption, man. That's the power of the almighty dollar. That's why the billionaires have figured it out. This is how you do it. You could just buy all the negative press. It's amazing.
And PBS is supposed to be like one of those like Mr. Rogers type shit.
Well, it's supposed to be like the bastion of like journalistic integrity or whatever, because, you know, they're publicly funded, la la la.
Yeah, that was like Reading Rainbow and shit. That's
those days are gone. Hey, that's our song of the day. I can't do anything.
I can't even believe I remember that. Holy shit.
That was my jam. That was my jam as a kid. I'd watch that show and then I'd immediately rush over to the library and I'd be like, get me that book that they had on Reading Rainbow with this giant spider tap dance. And then they'd be like, here you go.
Yeah, like I would go to Pizza Slut and get like Book It. You know, you get those buttons and you put a star on each star and then you get a personal pan pizza.
Yeah.
You didn't have that? Oh my god, that was I used to love reading so much, you know, before I like went blind and shit. But when I actually could read, and it was so cool because like you read like, I don't know what it was, like 6 or 8 books, and then you got a pizza.
Yeah, I remember that. I was the number one kid. I mean, that's probably also why, you know, I'm a big kid, but still, I think it was because the pizza. It really helped to encourage my reading.
It's like, come on, kids, you can get clogged arteries and read books. Come on, you guys, let's fucking go,
dude. We had in our town, we had the Pizza Hut with the buffet. And so they took you to the buffet. They didn't just give you like a personal pan. Like if you were the number one, you go to the buffet, and you better believe I was there.
God. It's a freaking feast. A smorgasbord of grease.
Yeah, just a smorgasbord of grease, and it's like framed by a smorgasbord. Oh my God,
that's such a good band name. Smorgasbord of grease. Yeah.
That's the name of the band that does the Capitalist Death Parade intro. So now you know. Smorgasbord of grease.
Oh my God, I can't. Well, on a serious note, we got to get back to our topics. Now, this is some shit. It is not surprising whatsoever. Will anything happen of it? Probably not, because we keep getting more and more tangibles, more and more receipts, and nothing ever happens. But Josh, let's talk about what came out last night.
Yeah, last night there were document leaks from the State Department. Apparently, Anthony Blanken violated U.S. law. Who knew? So I'm going to read you just a few paragraphs real quick from the ProPublica article detailing all of this. The U.S. government's 2 foremost authorities on humanitarian assistance concluded this spring that Israel had deliberately blocked deliveries of food and medicine into Gaza. The U.S. Agency for International Development delivered its assessment to Secretary of State Anthony Blanken, and the State Department's Refugees Bureau made its stance known to top diplomats in late April. Their conclusion was explosive because U.S. law requires that the government has to cut off weapons shipments to countries that prevent the delivery of U.S.-backed humanitarian aid. Israel has been largely dependent on American bombs and other weapons in Gaza since Hamas's October 7th attacks. But Blanken and the administration of President Joe Biden did not accept either finding. Days later, on May 10th, Blinken delivered a carefully worded statement to Congress that said, "We do not currently assess that the Israeli government is prohibiting or otherwise restricting the transport or delivery of U.S. humanitarian assistance." So what this comes down to is there is a law on the books. Let me see if I can find it here. I'm forgetting the name of the law right now. But anyways, the law on the books, it says exactly that if you cut off food and you intentionally try to starve as a weapon of war your enemies, it's the NSM 20. If you do that, then America, we cut you off. And the NSM 20, what it states is that it's not our decision, it's the decision of the State Department and its various organizations that do this monitoring. So these groups that did this monitoring, they said, hey, they're definitely cutting off these people's medical and food aid, which is a crime. And we have to enact NSM 20. They even tell them this to Blinken. They tell Blinken this directly. Blinken says, well, we believe Israel. And they tell him, no, see if I can find the part in the article. It's amazing. Basically, they tell Blinken, Israel cannot be trusted to be, truthful right now because they're lying constantly. They are. So they even tell Blinken, they're lying and you cannot trust them. Blinken goes with them anyway. And in the end, decides there is no evidence. That's what he claims. No evidence that they were stopping aid, even though multiple organizations under the State Department provided that evidence in like mountains of it. So Blinken intentionally violated that statute. And not that anything's going to come of it, but I mean, my God, there's literally a famine happening. People starving, people every day in Gaza living off of, I'm not even kidding, grass soup.
I know. Oh my God. I saw this little TikTok type video of this little girl. She was maybe like 2, and she was drinking dirty water coming out of a pipe out of a car.
Oh God.
Oh,
wow.
God.
Oh my God. But yeah, so I don't know. I wanted to read one last thing. It's near the end of the article here. So there was a person underneath Blinken, one of his assistants, that was told to write up the report, and in the reports come up with the conclusion that there was no delaying of medical and food aid, right? So this person was one of the people that resigned from the State Department in protest. And in these documents that come out, she told Blinken that, I will not write lies. These are open-faced lies. I mean, this is some wild stuff that's come out in these leaks. And again, it bums me out because it's like I'm looking and I'm not seeing much talk on it.
I did not look until you told me, until you texted me this shit. I didn't know anything about it. And it came out last night.
Yeah, but that's the thing, we have this messed up like situation where our mainstream media is completely ideologically and financially captured by a like fascist right-wing government. And so they're not going to report anything that's bad for that government. And
well,
this is
I don't
real
even
bad.
watch that shit. I don't even watch it. But I'm talking about even on Twitter and stuff. It's like this shit always comes out when there's so much other stuff going on.
Yeah, it gets lost in the fray.
The entire Twitter is Diddy. Like the entire fucking Twitter.
I know.
And
Diddy madness.
I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking fascinating. Okay, it's disgusting. Yeah. I've gone down rabbit holes. I get it. It is absolutely engrossing and gross at the same time. But there are still things we need to focus on. And this is something that Anthony Blanken should be absolutely removed for.
Yeah, immediately.
And sent to The Hague, but
My God, why not? I mean, I that's all I want. Like before I die, like on my deathbed, even if they just make the announcement, oh, they're taking him to The Hague now, I'd be like, okay, cool. So at least I know that in the end, like MLK Jr. said, the arc of justice is long, or the arc of history is long, but it swings towards justice. I just want to believe that. I want to believe it before I go.
The bananas thing is that the USA actually has permission and a legal right to go interfere with anything happening in The Hague. And that's why Biden said, like a couple months ago and like a month ago, he stated that if they served Bibi an arrest warrant, we as in Americans would send our troops to go in and stop it.
Oh my God,
Legit.
it's hard to believe.
And
it's hard to believe. No one said nothing.
Really,
Said more
I mean, they'll
about
do anything for that man. Their tongues are they're like, I've never seen tongues reach around a damn boot like that. It's incredible. And
I mean,
so it's literally legal for, like, let's say we put Blanken at The Hague. Biden could be like, no, we're sending our troops in there and we're ending it. That's not going to happen.
Real,
come back
folks.
home.
Go look up the Wikipedia on this. It's called the Hague Invasion Act. It's got another name, but Hague Invasion Act is what it's been known as. And this is the real deal, Holyfield. They actually, George W. Bush, during our many trysts in the Middle East, came up with this insane executive order. And this is the real thing, that our military set thing, if one of our people gets taken to The Hague or one of our allies, is we will invade The Hague, which is one of the NATO nations, one of our allies. We will go to war with and invade our own allies to protect Netanyahu, apparently.
Yep.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great. Can you imagine being a U.S. soldier right now and just like seeing this all unfold? Like right now, in Israel and around the surrounding areas at all of our little military bases surrounding Israel, and then in the seas, we have multiple ships now. We're talking like 45,000 troops, and supposedly they just
not see how Kamala at the fucking debate, what did she say? She said, America doesn't have a single person serving in a war zone right now. What? What in the fuck? And those fuckers hosting the debate didn't say a damn thing. They're talking about
that's just semantic bullshit. That's just semantic bullshit, Joy. We're having skirmishes and limited military engagements. It's not war. We changed the definition. Ooh.
It's essentially a fist fight, but with weapons.
But with giant missiles.
Oh. Okay, look, we have a few minutes. Let me see. Yeah, we have a couple of minutes. Look, okay, so did you see how Springfield, Ohio announced today they're suing Trump?
I did.
I can't.
Did you see the charges? Like, one of the charges is perfect. It's the charge that they need to nail them for, which is they intentionally spread misinformation with the intention to cause like chaos. And they did. And they even got frickin' JD Vance like on camera being like, yes, we made this story up, but we did it because we want you to pay attention to Kamala Harris. And it's like, why would you say that out loud?
Oh, let me see. Antoine, dicks in your mouth. I love it. He said, sup with the Julian Assange news? I didn't hear anything.
Wait, there's Julian Assange news? What news?
I didn't even hear about it.
I missed it. I'm behind the ball.
I'm scared.
Oh, I hope it's not bad, because we thought maybe it was over. He's out. Oh,
well, I definitely didn't think it was over, but Antoine Boo, put it in there.
Let's take guesses. I'm going to go ahead and take a wild guess that Netanyahu found out that Hamas was living underneath Julian Assange's house.
Oh my God, that could be.
I think that's it.
Assange is like traveling right now.
Oh, okay.
Maybe sell his Prager's again.
Yeah, if he's traveling and I was right, then there's going to be a bombing tour. So maybe go visit a bomb shelter, Julian. Look out.
Let me see. I'm doing I'm searching Twitter right now because hello, that's where I get my fucking news.
Well, while you're doing that, I just wanted to mention real quick Lebanon. It's been an insane week. Right now, they're bombing the absolute shit out of Lebanon. And we're talking about people's houses, hospitals, all kinds of civilian infrastructure. And again, Netanyahu's like, I literally watched the video. Netanyahu's like, you shouldn't have let them put their weapons in your houses. You shouldn't have let them put their rockets in your garage. And it's like, dude, oh my God, this is the most twisted thing I've ever heard. He's literally saying, we're going to bomb people's houses now, and it's your own fault because you let terrorists put missiles in your garage. What are you fucking talking about, bro? They're just leveling it all, and they're already talking about making a buffer zone, so they're trying to steal the land.
So I just found it's oh my God. And every time I post something about Palestine, you got some motherfucker in the comments going beep beep. Like they're so disgusting. 538 people killed yesterday in Lebanon. And there's even, if you go to my Twitter or watch my show from last night, there's even a journalist who's being bombed as he's on camera.
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting. So I just looked up on Twitter. Thanks for the heads up, Antoine. It says Assange to testify on political imprisonment for engagement in journalism.
Wow.
This could be big or scary.
Yeah. Unknown. Wow.
The following article was blah, blah, blah. Okay. WikiLeaks former Julian Assange will travel to Strasbourg, France, and testify before the Council of Europe's Committee of Legal Affairs and Human Rights on October 1st. Holy balls, that's right around the corner. Yeah. It will be his first public testimony since he was arrested and expelled from Ecuador's London embassy in 2019.
All right. Well, thanks.
I feel nervous about this, guys. Yeah, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel kind of nervous about this. I don't know.
I'm feeling hopeful. I'm hoping that he's testifying to maybe stop these kinds of evil political imprisonments in the future.
Oh, I'm sure that's why he's doing it. It's just like my fear is that like they get him to re-imprison him, and then they're like, oh, you know, he's committing perjury, or like, he gave away a secret he wasn't allowed to, or you know, like I just don't want it to fall back on him.
Well, we're down to our last 2 minutes. Do you want to announce our Grand Marshal of the Capitalist Death Parade this week?
Okay, so our Capitalist Death Parade, and I'm sorry if you can hear Mr. Furley barking. He's deaf and he's 6 months old. So I'm trying to train him and it's not going that well. So he's been barking his brains out.
He just won't listen to your commands.
Exactly. I'm like, dude, shut up. And he's just like,
what?
And I'm like, no, okay, dude, but like, shut up. But he's really cute. But yeah, so our Grand Marshal / Grand Dragon of the Capitalist Death Parade is the governor of Missouri.
Absolutely, the governor of Missouri. Yes.
Fuck you. Rest in piss, you piece of fucking shit. Rest in power, Marcellus.
No doubt. And I hope that body count of yours, Gov, brings you comfort as you walk capitalism off the cliff.
Seriously.
Yep. Well, I think that's it. I think we did it. It's been another epic week. And do you have anything you want to say before we zip out?
I do have several amazing guests coming up. I have some great people, but they're ETA at this moment, so I don't want to give it away as of yet. But keep me, smash the like, smash subscribe, smash each other as long as it's consensual. do whatever makes you happy. Much love to everyone. And again, please like, share, subscribe, because I kind of want to keep doing this. So
Ditto. And yeah, find me. I am doing the Rip and Rant. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on Twitch. Just getting it up and rolling, but it's good times. If you like weed and you like political commentary, I'm your stoner. Well, it's been another epic week here at the Capitalist Death Parade. My name is Josh Radiohedge.
And my name is Joy Marie Mann.
And we'll see you next week, folks, on the Capitalist Death Parade.
Dun, dun, dun. Reading Rainbow.
Reading Rainbow.